In this lesson, we are going to be looking at traits of toxic people. This is the part one because we will not be able to exhaust all of it in this part. So, in another video or lesson, we are going to talk about a part two of traits of toxic people. Uh, I, the, Recently, there has been a lot of buzz around the word toxic. A lot of people talk about toxic relationship, toxic family, toxic friend, toxic this, toxic work environment. Think of anything, you know. Uh, and there are also those who keep asking if they are toxic themselves, and because they are not sure if they are or not. The truth is that you may be toxic without being aware that you are toxic, but there are those who are intentionally toxic. Sometimes you can be toxic because you're dealing with a whole lot of stress in your personal life, but you are unable to manage the stress effectively. So you allow yourself to cause pain to other people because of what is going on in your life. A toxic person generally acts or says things that hurt people. They are rub off on people negatively and negatively impact other people's peace, their sanity. Um, when you relate with a toxic person, it tends to affect you. It threatens your mental health, threatens your peace of mind, threatens your ability to enjoy quality interpersonal relationship. So it's important to know some of the traits that toxic people have or some traits that are considered toxic so that when you're dealing with somebody, you're able to look at the pattern and know if there is something that is standing out for you, and it's going to help you make a decision if you want to keep having that person in your life or you want to put that person at an arm's length to protect yourself. The first trait you're going to be looking at is that they are controlling. A toxic person likes to control. They likes to control what's happening in your life. This person may be your mom, it may be your dad, it may be your lover, it may be whoever that person may be. They love control. They want to be in charge of what happens. They want to control what you think. They control your thoughts. They want to control your opinion. They want to control what you should feel. They want to control what you should say. So when you say something, it doesn't align with what they want. It doesn't align with their objectives, their whatever they hope to achieve. You see them, they are going to shut you down. They are going to try to limit your freedom to express yourself. They are going to limit your freedom to think about what is important to you. They want to determine what you should think about. They want to determine what should be going on in your life. And I believe that when you look around you, it's possible to see one or two persons who behave in this manner towards you, who do not allow you to be your authentic self, to express yourself fully, and especially in a non harmful way. You know, people who try to limit your freedom to be you, your freedom for your individuality, they are toxic to you. When they are trying to control you in this manner, they are toxic. They want to know everything going on in your life. You say, or rather, you want to keep some things to yourself. You want to keep some things to yourself. You want to um, maintain some sort of privacy for yourself, but they don't think so. So they are going to want to come into your life. They want to determine what should happen in your life. They want to know everything going on. They want information from you. They want to know when you break, you make money, you get a job, your relationships, all your relationships. They do not understand that there are information that you should give out and the ones that you shouldn't. They want to get everything. They want to know. But now the interesting thing is that they don't share much of what is going on in their own lives. They keep that for themselves because they want to be in charge. They want to be in control. If you have somebody and that person is relating with you in this manner, that's a toxic behavior. I haven't labeled the person a toxic person, but the behavior itself is toxic. Now, another um, trait is that toxic people lie a lot. They always lie and they're always in denial. So, in your relationship, in your interactions with them, they tend to lie. They lie about a lot of things. They try to keep you in the dark. They don't want to carry you along. In as much as they also want to know what is happening in your own life, they don't want you to know what is happening in their own lives. They shut you out. They don't want you to know exactly what's going on in their life because it gives them that edge. It helps give them the power to control the narrative that you have, or rather that you are exposed to. So they lie, and when you interact with them and they hurt you, or they do something to you, they tend to lie about it. They deny their behavior. They do something to you, they deny it. They make you question yourself, question your sanity, because they can't come to terms with accepting that they have hurt you. So they are going to deny. You'll keep bringing up something they've done that you are not okay with. They will lie about it and they will deny. And if you had to involve a third party, they will deny everything and they will lie that they didn't do that to you. That is a toxic behavior. If you are dealing with somebody like that and you have observed the pattern that this person is always lying about things, always lying about information that sometimes that you shouldn't lie about, but they just have to lie because they want to be able to control what you know and what you don't know. That is a toxic behavior. Now, disregard. This is disregard for your feelings. A toxic person has no regard for your feelings. He doesn't care how you feel. It's not their business. So a toxic person is never going to validate your feelings. Whatever feeling that you have, whatever you're feeling, whatever emotion you're dealing with, a toxic person is not going to validate it. In fact, a toxic person is more inclined to discount your feeling. And by discounting, it's like reducing the impact or what the impact of what the action is for you. So if you're feeling terrible about something, they want to make it look little, they want to trivialize it. They are discounting your feeling, making you feel like you shouldn't feel that way. You're overreacting when in the real sense you're not overreacting. You're actually reacting the way you should based on how whatever it is has impacted you. But a toxic person is going to make you feel like you don't have a right to feel. You don't have a right to, have any emotional reaction to whatever it is that has happened. A toxic person will make you doubt yourself. So they have no regard for your feeling. And it's not just about how you feel generally, it's also about how you feel about what they've done to you. So if they do something to you, they hurt you in some ways, or they say something to you, or they act in some way, or they step on your toes, you're supposed to be upset or angry or disgusted or sad, whichever emotion that you deal with at the time. They are going to have a disregard for that. They are going to make you feel like you're not supposed to have any emotional reaction to how they've behaved. They expect you to just take everything they do to you, swallow it, and just be good, and put on a smiley face and be fine. That is a huge disregard for your feelings, and it impacts your mental health. Part of the ways you protect your mental health is learning to honor your feelings. And when you learn to honor your feelings, you're also going to make sure that you don't have somebody in your space who is dishonoring your feelings. A toxic person will never value or rather validate your feeling because that makes them feel powerless. That's like putting you first. That's like prioritizing you. So they are not going to do that. Waiting for a toxic person to validate your feeling is going to cause you pain, disappointment, because it's not going to happen. The toxic person is never going to validate. It's never going to say, "Oh, I understand the way you feel," except they are being sarcastic about it. But they are never going to be honest about validating your feeling. Now, another trait that you see in toxic people is that they do not apologize. Okay, let me break it down. They do apologize, but in the real sense, they do not apologize. And what I mean is this: a toxic person is going to say, "Okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," but I've told you I'm sorry now. But I said I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, you're talking about something that has, you know, hurt you. Part of the process, of dealing with that experience is that you should be able to talk about it. You should be able to explore how you feel, express it. That's the right thing. A toxic person does not want to hear that, doesn't want to hear you talk about what you're saying. In fact, you're stressing him or her, you're wasting their time. They are going to cut you short, they'll interrupt you. So while you're saying, yesterday I didn't expect that you're going to do this to me, they'll cut you short. And then they'll come with, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry about that, I'm sorry about that, I'm sorry about that." They are not telling you that they are sorry because they are truly sorry. They are telling you that they are sorry because they are not comfortable with the fact that you are expressing how you feel. Because you expressing how you feel is going to become an indictment to them. They don't want to deal with that. They just don't want to deal with that emotion. So they are going to cut you short, interrupt you, so that you stop. And then they offer you one apology that is not real. The goal of the apology is to shut you up. They slap it on your face. Take this apology. You want apology? Take. They force it into your mouth. Swallow it. Tell them you need apology. Eat apology. Now that's what they do when they want to offer an apology. Other times, they are not even going to offer an apology. They are going to argue. They argue. They try to gaslight you. They try to deflect. You see them rigmaroling. They go from A to B, from B to C, from C to D. They keep shifting goalposts because they don't want to be found accepting that they did something wrong. So they are going to, keep dodging, keep playing around. They are not going to say that they are sorry. They are going to try to blame you. They are going to say, "But I treated you this way because you did this." Now, a toxic person may even treat you a certain way in the present because of something, a perceived hurt from the past. It may not be something that you actually did to him or her, but they look at you in the present. How can I take responsibility? I can't take responsibility. So they have to go and think of the year 1924, of something that they perceived that you did to them. And then they'll say, "Yeah, well, in the year 1924, you did this. That's why I'm doing this today." They just can't afford to accept that they've done something and then offer you an honest apology. Now, in the first part where I said that they offer you an apology, they can offer you that apology. It's like weaponizing it. They offer it today, then tomorrow they invalidate the apology. So tomorrow they can come up and say, "Yes, but you deserved what I did to you because you are this and this and this and this." What they've done is they've gone to trash the apology they offered you. They've invalidated it, making it useless. At that point, that apology will no longer be worth even anything. It will not be worth anything to you. It will be useless to you. That's what they do. So they don't offer apology. And when they offer it, it's not genuine, it's not real. And you can't bank on it. Another trait that we see in toxic people is that they do not take responsibility. Now, a toxic person can never admit that they are wrong. When I talked about apology earlier, you see, I didn't say that they are going to tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry that I did this. What I did was wrong." No, a toxic person is never going to say that. But they are going to say, "I'm sorry, forgive me, I'm sorry, forgive me." But they are not going to say, "I am sorry." Sometimes, if you're dealing with a toxic person and they are offering you the apology, ask them, "Why are you apologizing?" Or say, "What are you sorry about?" They are not going to answer you. They won't answer you. They'll just be there looking at you. Stone cold. You know, What are you sorry about? Why are you apologizing? They are not going to say anything. So they do not take responsibility. They can't take responsibility. A normal human being is supposed to say, well, this thing I did is wrong. Truly, what I did is wrong. You know, when you come to this level of acceptance that you've done something that is wrong, even if you don't say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, you've already pacified the person that you've hurt. If you're hurt and you're trying to express how you feel, and the other person who has offended you is saying, oh, oh dear, ah, what I did was wrong. Hi, what I did was wrong. I was totally wrong. I shouldn't have acted that way. The moment they say that, you notice that there's a relief that you're going to get. That's closure. Not the person that is going to try to make you doubt yourself, to make you doubt your sense of judgment. So if they now add, I am sorry to it, and now add, please forgive me, wow, you've made it. Because that's how normal people behave. But a toxic person can't deal with that, cannot. You say, yes. In fact, they get upset when you try to express how you feel. They get upset if you're trying to say, this is what. No, have you been in a situation where somebody you know has hurt you and you want to talk about it to the person, but you're scared? You're scared. What are you scared about? You're scared about them exploding, scared about getting them angry. You know, have you dealt with that? That's what toxic people do to you. Like a healthy relationship should be one where you have the freedom to express how you feel to the other person, your friend, your lover, your parents, whoever. You should be able to say, this is how I feel, this is what you did to me, and I'm talking about a case where the manner of expression is normal, it's okay. You are not shouting or doing stuff or you know expressing yourself in a socially inappropriate way. You are expressing yourself in a way that makes the interaction easy to deal with. But this person scares you. You're scared that he or she may get angry and they are going to be upset, terribly upset, and you don't want to upset them or they are going to explode. Now, if you have that sort of person in your life, that's a toxic dynamic. You know, you see how I am being very careful about of labeling. I don't want to say that person is a toxic person. You have to decide that on your own by the time we are done. But you see, that's a toxic dynamic because it's not a healthy relationship. And some children have this sort of relationship with their parents where, oh, imagine your child has been um, sexually molested, but your child is scared of coming to you and telling you, this is what happened to me yesterday. My God, that's scary. Your child should be able to walk up to you and say, look at what happened to me. I was abused yesterday or I was abused today, trusting that you're going to look out for him or her. So if you are in that relationship dynamic where this person hurts you or does something to you, but you cannot go to that person and talk about how you feel and express yourself and trust them to take it peacefully, accept what you're saying, and not fight you, that's a toxic dynamic. So a toxic person do not take responsibility. They are not going to take, they'll find a way to blame you for whatever has happened. A toxic person will hurt you and then blame you for being hurt. The reason I raped you is because you are so beautiful. The reason I hit you is because you provoked me. Of course, he or she cannot understand that the reason they are hitting is because they are unable to regulate their emotion. But they have to blame you for it. They have to tell you the reason I am doing this to you is because of this. They must find something to blame you for so that they can avoid taking responsibility. They can't deal with taking responsibility. Now, every human is fallible. No human being is perfect. And this is an understanding that should factor into healthy relationships. Knowing that I am capable of making mistakes. I am capable of causing pain to my partner or my friend or my child or my sibling or my parent. I am capable of this, I'm capable of that. When you know this, it helps the relationship. It helps you to take responsibility because then you know that if somebody says I'm hurt, you should be willing to listen to understand how have I hurt you? What have I done to cause you pain? And then you validate how they feel. But a toxic person, you're never going to get this from him or her. When you deal with a toxic person, just settle it in your mind that they're never going to take responsibility. They're always going to make you receive or take the blame for their actions. You even take blame for what they think, for what they say, for what they do. You take the blame for everything. They can't take responsibility, and because they can't take responsibility, they have to push it to you. They have to use a range of techniques to push their responsibility to you. They may be deflecting, they may be gaslighting you. They may be projecting. There are so many things they do, but the goal is to make sure that the responsibility is not on them, that it is on you. And if you are dealing with the responsibility of their action, then they are free. Then they don't have to deal with any sense of guilt that they have hurt somebody. Another